Imagine a battlefield where, on one side, stand the world's most powerful military forces, America and Israel, armed with advanced fighter jets, billion-dollar missiles, and some of the most sophisticated air defense systems ever built. But surprisingly, standing against this enormous military power is a weapon cheaper than an ordinary car. And slowly, that tiny weapon is beginning to change the entire equation of modern warfare. Many military analysts now believe that this drone has allowed Iran to develop a strategy where victory is achieved not through overwhelming strength, but through intelligence and economic pressure. Because when a drone that costs only a few $1,000s must be stopped using missiles worth millions, the entire logic of war begins to change. And at the center of this mystery stands one unusual weapon, the Shahed 136 kamikaze drone, also known as a suicide drone. Yes, we are now living in a time where war, global politics, and economic uncertainty are making the future of many people increasingly unstable. Yet if you look carefully, one industry still remains surprisingly stable and full of opportunity: the digital content sector. At first glance, the Shahed 136 may not seem impressive. It does not look like a giant fighter jet or a terrifying ballistic missile. But the reality is, this small weapon has quietly started reshaping the concept of modern warfare over the last few years. For decades, people believed that the side with the most advanced and expensive weapons would always dominate the battlefield. But the Shahed 136 seems to challenge that very idea. Think about it. America's famous Tomahawk cruise missile cost several $millions. Russia's Kh-101 cruise missile also costs close to millions. Even Iran's own Fateh ballistic missiles can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then suddenly appears a weapon that costs only a few $1,000s, sometimes cheaper than an old second-hand car. And that weapon is the Shahed 136. This is where the true power of this drone begins to reveal itself. The Shahed 136 is often called a kamikaze drone or suicide drone. In military terms, it is also known as a loitering munition. Because unlike traditional missiles that strike directly, this drone can remain in the sky for long periods of time, searching for its target, like a hunting bird circling above its prey. Some targets are not always visible. They appear for only a few moments, then disappear again within seconds. So the drone waits patiently in the air, searching for the perfect moment. And when that moment arrives, it suddenly dives downward, exploding upon impact, destroying the target while destroying itself at the same time. One of the strangest features of this drone is its sound. When it flies overhead, the engine noise resembles the sound of a scooter. That is why many people call it the flying scooter. The reason is simple. It uses a small two-stroke engine, similar to the kind used in ordinary scooters. And strangely enough, that unusual sound itself creates fear. Because once people hear it in the sky, they know something is coming. The drone itself is around 3.5 meters long, with a wingspan of nearly 3 meters. Its total weight is only about 220 kilograms. At the front sits an explosive warhead, weighing between 30 to 50 kilograms. At the rear is a propeller pushing the drone forward. It is powered by a small two-stroke gasoline engine, capable of producing around 50 horsepower. That allows the drone to fly at speeds of nearly 200 kilometers per hour. Interestingly, the drone does not even require a separate cooling system. As it flies, the surrounding air naturally cools the engine. To maintain stability during flight, the drone uses rear control fins and wing flaps called elevons, which help it change direction. These are controlled through small servo motors. At the center of the drone sits a compact onboard computer system responsible for controlling the entire flight. It also contains a GPS navigation system that allows the drone to determine its position using satellites. And if GPS fails for any reason, the drone can rely on its inertial navigation system instead. Special sensors calculate movement and direction to keep the drone on course. In some situations, the drone can even detect radar signals. If it detects the radar emissions of an air defense system, it can automatically move toward the source and attack it directly. Because once the radar of an air defense system is destroyed, the entire defense system effectively becomes blind. The drone is launched using a special launch truck equipped with rails. The drone is placed at an angle, and a small rocket booster underneath helps launch it rapidly into the sky. Once airborne, the main engine activates and the booster detaches automatically. The Shahed 136 has a range of nearly 2,000 kilometers, but its real strength lies elsewhere. These drones rarely attack alone. Instead, large numbers are often launched together. Sometimes dozens, even hundreds, can be deployed simultaneously. And they do not all strike the same target. Each drone may attack a completely different location. These drones also fly at relatively low altitudes, close to the ground. As a result, radar systems often detect them very late. And by the time they are detected, it may already be too late. Technically, these drones can be destroyed. But this is where the biggest problem appears: cost. While one drone may cost only a few $1,000s, the missile used to destroy it may cost hundreds of thousands, or even millions. For example, Israel's Iron Dome uses Tamir interceptor missiles, which are far more expensive than the drone itself. And if America's Patriot missile systems are used, the cost becomes even higher. In simple terms, extremely expensive weapons are often required just to stop a very cheap drone. And when hundreds of drones attack at once, even advanced defense systems begin to struggle. That is why many military experts believe the Shahed 136 is more than just a drone. It represents a completely new reality of modern warfare. A reality where billion-dollar military systems are forced to fight against small drones worth only a few $1,000s. Many people may have already heard reports claiming that even the stockpiles of interceptor missiles used by America and Israel are beginning to shrink. Because while Iran can produce these drones rapidly and in large numbers, advanced interceptor missiles take far longer and cost significantly more to manufacture. And because of that, many experts